Strange New Worlds changes Kirk and Khan's first Star Trek meeting. Captain James T. Kirk's William Shatner first meeting with Khan Noonien Singh, Ricardo Montalban, in Star Trek, the original series, is changed by Star Trek Strange New Worlds. As a prequel, Strange New Worlds introduced Lieutenant Layan Noonien Singh, Christina Chong, Khan's ancestor and a love interest of LT. James T. Kirk, Paul Wesley, when he was younger, and a frequent visitor aboard the Starship Enterprise. Further, Strange New Worlds has altered Khan's Star Trek timeline, adding new dimensions to Kirk's original encounter with Khan. In Star Trek, the original series Season 1, Episode 22, Space Seed, the USS Enterprise intercepts the SS Botany Bay, an Earth ship from the 1990s. Cryogenically frozen aboard are Khan and 70 of his genetically engineered followers. Welcomed as a guest aboard the Enterprise, Khan plots to hijack the starship. Seduced by Khan, Enterprise historian LT Marla McGivers, Madeline Rue, betrays Captain Kirk as Khan's followers take over the ship. However, Kirk manages to defeat Khan in physical combat and regains control of the Enterprise before banishing Khan and his followers, including McGivers, to Zeta Alpha V. How Strange New Worlds changed Kirk and Khan's first Star Trek meeting on Star Trek Strange New Worlds, set about 6 to 7 years before Star Trek, the original series, LT. James T. Kirk's relationship with LT Layan Noonien Singh now colors Captain Kirk's encounter with Khan. While Strange New Worlds Season 2 doesn't show Layan telling Kirk that Khan is her blood relative, the prequel established that the surname Noonien Singh is infamous because of Khan, so James would easily connect Layan's ancestry. Certainly, Kirk cares for Layan, and their relationship will continue to bloom and perhaps even become romantic in Strange New Worlds Seasons 3 and 4. Given Kirk's feelings about Layan, even if she is no longer aboard the USS Enterprise in Star Trek, the original series, it's now impossible to separate that he knows Khan's ancestor as the captain interacts with the genetically engineered warlord. Kirk's controlled reticence can now be interpreted as not giving anything away about Layan, and the captain's reliance on Spock, Leonard Nimoy, as his attack dog as Kirk watches for weaknesses, can even be seen as their combined effort to test Khan while keeping Layan a secret. Certainly, Kirk and Spock know more about Khan than they let on because they both knew Layan years earlier on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Khan may not have cared about USS Enterprise's history in Star Trek. The original series' Space Seed, Captain Kirk generously allows Khan to use the USS Enterprise's computers, which is curious considering he knows about Khan. There's a briefing later led by Spock that clarifies the Khan they have aboard is the infamous Khan Noonien Singh, and this would confirm for everyone, except for Dr. Leonard McCoy, DeForest Kelley, who hasn't appeared on Strange New Worlds yet. That Khan is Layan's ancestor. Scotty Martin-Quinn joins the Enterprise's crew in Strange New Worlds Season 3, so he likely knows Layan's connection to Khan as well. The world of Star Trek has long been a fascinating realm of complex relationships, moral dilemmas, and iconic encounters. One of the most famous relationships in Star Trek lore is the one between Captain James T. Kirk and Khan Noonien Singh, the genetically enhanced tyrant from Earth's past. Their first canonical encounter in the original series episode, Space Seed, 1967, is legendary, laying the groundwork for their later conflict in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, 1982. However, Star Trek Strange New Worlds has recently introduced new twists to the Kirk-Khan dynamic, altering the context of their first meeting. These changes have sparked both excitement and controversy among longtime fans of the franchise. Strange New Worlds, which serves as a prequel to the original series, primarily follows the adventures of Captain Christopher Pike aboard the USS Enterprise before Kirk's tenure as captain. However, the series has not shied away from bringing Kirk into the narrative earlier than expected. In doing so, it has set up potential reimaginings of key moments in Star Trek history, including Kirk's relationship with Khan. The traditional Kirk-Khan dynamic in the original Star Trek timeline, Captain Kirk first encounters Khan aboard the USS Enterprise after discovering his crew in suspended animation aboard the SS Botany Bay, a derelict ship that had been drifting through space for centuries. Khan, a product of the eugenics wars on 20th century Earth, is a genetically engineered superhuman possessing superior strength, intellect, and ambition. The tension between Kirk and Khan is palpable from the start, with Khan initially presenting himself as a charming, cultured leader before revealing his true intentions of conquest. Kirk thwarts Khan's plans to take over the Enterprise, ultimately marooning him and his followers on the remote planet Ceti Alpha V, setting the stage for Khan's vengeful return in the Wrath of Khan. This dynamic between Kirk and Khan hinges on Kirk's cunning, his moral conviction, and his willingness to outsmart an adversary who, by all accounts, should be physically and mentally superior to him. The contrast between Khan's ruthless ambition and Kirk's dedication to freedom and justice is a key element of their relationship. Strange New Worlds and Kirk's earlier involvement in Strange New Worlds, we see a younger James T. Kirk, portrayed by Paul Wesley, introduced earlier than expected. His role in this series has led to speculation about how it might alter the established timeline, particularly concerning his relationship with Khan. The most significant twist comes in the form of Layan Noonien Singh, a new character who is a descendant of Khan. Her inclusion in Strange New Worlds introduces a new layer of complexity to the Kirk-Khan dynamic, as Kirk now has a personal connection to someone tied to Khan's legacy before he even meets the man himself. In one episode, Kirk interacts with Layan during a mission, and their rapport adds emotional depth to Kirk's future encounters with Khan. If Kirk forms a bond with Layan, knowing her lineage and what her ancestor represents, it could fundamentally change the stakes of his eventual meeting with Khan. Instead of encountering Khan as a purely external threat, Kirk may view him through the lens of his relationship with Layan, introducing a sense of personal conflict that was absent in the original timeline. Changing the nature of Kirk's first meeting with Khan, one of the most significant changes Strange New Worlds has made is the potential for Kirk to learn about Khan before their iconic Space Seed encounter. In the original timeline, Kirk's discovery of Khan aboard the Botany Bay is his first introduction to the man. However, in Strange New Worlds, there are indications that Kirk may already be aware of Khan's existence, or at least the history of the eugenics wars and Khan's role in them before their fateful meeting. This shift could have profound implications for how their initial confrontation plays out. In Space Seed, part of the tension comes from Kirk gradually piecing together who Khan is and what he represents. If Strange New Worlds establishes that Kirk has prior knowledge of Khan's history, it would change the nature of that discovery. Instead of a slow unraveling of Khan's identity, Kirk might approach the situation with more caution or even a preconceived strategy for dealing with him. Additionally, Strange New Worlds could explore how Kirk's foreknowledge of Khan might affect his leadership style. Knowing that one of Earth's most dangerous tyrants is out there, potentially waiting to be found, could influence Kirk's decisions and attitudes in the series. It could make him more wary of unchecked ambition or more empathetic toward genetically engineered beings, as evidenced by his relationship with Layan. Implications for the Star Trek universe by reworking Kirk's introduction to Khan, Strange New Worlds has the potential to reshape one of the most iconic rivalries in science fiction. If Kirk's eventual meeting with Khan is informed by his experiences in Strange New Worlds, it could add new layers of complexity to their dynamic. The rivalry might no longer be a simple battle between two strong-willed leaders, but rather a confrontation shaped by personal history, moral dilemmas, and a deeper understanding of each other's motivations. However, these changes also come with risks. For many fans, the original meeting between Kirk and Khan is a cornerstone of,